It is also essential to be sensitive to the voice of the Holy Spirit to better follow His instructions during the awakening, for the Holy Spirit is the guide of the awakening. Jesus says in John 16:13, "When the Comforter comes, the Spirit of truth, He will lead you in all truth, for He will not speak of Himself, but He will say all that He has heard, and He will tell you what is to come." The awakening is not simply an atmosphere of emotion or enthusiasm. It is a precise direction of the Holy Spirit. It is He who leads us, shows us what to do, where to go, who to touch, and how to pray. If we are not sensitive to His voice, we risk agitating in activism without any spiritual impact. In addition, the men and women that God used in the biblical awakening were listening to the Spirit. For example, Philip, the evangelist, according to Acts 8:29, the Spirit says to Philip, "Move forward and approach this chariot." Because Philip listened and obeyed, the Ethiopian eunuch was saved and the gospel entered a new region. Only a well-followed divine instruction can have a regional or generational impact. Not to mention that listening to the Spirit allows us to discern the seasons of the awakening. Indeed, Jesus says in Luke 19:44, "Because you did not know the time when you were visited." He weeps over Jerusalem because it did not discern the divine visitation. In the same way, a church or individual can miss the awakening if they do not listen to the Spirit of God. The awakening is a sensitive time that requires an attentive heart to God. For all who are led by the Spirit of God are sons of God. What matters is to cultivate a deep relationship with Him, to recognize His voice as a child recognizes the voice of his father or mother. In addition, a broken and obedient heart is an antenna to hear God. According to Isaiah 30:21, "Your ears will hear the voice behind you that will say, 'Here is the way, walk.'" God promises to speak to us in real time to guide us, but this requires inner silence, the renunciation of our own plans, obedience, even when it seems crazy or uncomfortable. Also, sensitivity to the Spirit allows an ordained and lasting awakening. Indeed, in Corinthians 14:33, God is not a God of disorder, but of peace. In the awakening, there may be spiritual manifestations, miracles, mass conversions, but all this must be led by the Spirit and not by human emotions. Only the Spirit of God can preserve the balance between power and maturity. Therefore, the awakening begins with an attentive ear. It is those who listen to God in secret who will make nations tremble in public.